I go for a 1v1 on Yi.
Oh, this is
Flash
so
in.
important. This is something you need to 100% have down 101 right here. So this is a river fight, right? This is a 2v2. At first it's a 2v2. For now, right now, what I would have done here, because you do have flash, right?
Right, I do.
You do have flash. You do have flash. So what I would have done, I think you do have vision of this as well. Like, so you saw her coming as well.
Yes.
Wait. I think no, you didn't. But you saw her coming down from lane, I think.
I
And
did.
right here, you could have made a 2v1 situation by closing in, but I think you caved into the 2v1 situation for them. So the right choice right here, I think your eyes were over here, right? That was your
Right,
mistake.
they were. I saw
Right,
Lucian.
right. So you gotta kind of be more aware of your surroundings rather than your target. More so, I'd say. So right here, see how Olivia stuns Lux right over here? What I would have done is after she stuns her, I would have just turned straight away and then flashed onto Lux and then created that 2v2. You guys finish her off and then you guys finish Yi off together. But I think what you did was you did the exact same thing I'm trying to tell you, but towards them. So you attack them so they get closing on you rather than you closing on her so you guys get closing on Lux. I think that's what happened, right?
Pretty much because I'm not able to possibly survive after you said if I were to go on a look since she was already getting focused anyway. I was going for a 1v1.
Right. Ah, that's on. You did trade one for one, but the best play right here that you should have done is close in with your ally rather than trading one for one. Right here, where it was more than possible. You already had your best stuns. Flash right here,
I see.
and it would have chain CC'd, insta killed her, and then you would have. If this guy committed, then you would have killed him too, and then finished these guys off. Like it would have been the best outcome, I think.
Okay, that's true because we would have gotten. We would have. I probably would have survived. If I
You
did
probably
do
would have
what you said.
survived too. Yeah. So always remember, it's a game of triangle. So like, it's whoever is in the middle is the loser.
Hmm.
So think of it like this right here. So right here, where you decide to go, if you decide to go for one particular side of the triangle, then and the triangle closes in, you're the loser because they closed in on you. Look at this. See this triangle? If you're in the middle of it, if you create the middle of it, then you're the loser. But if
Okay.
you would have gone her, she's the loser because she's in the middle between you two, right?
And then he's all the way
So,
on the side. Yeah, we can get on the side over there
uh-huh,
and just looks dead flash out too.
right. But if you flashed on it, it would have changed. So it would have
Okay.
been insta-kill, guaranteed. Yeah.
All right. I see.
That's fine. You guys did trade one for one. But bot lane did die. But see how, like, if you were to focus your attention onto bot, path your way towards bottom, and somehow in the early game, like these two are early champions to be honest. But these guys in the late game are disgustingly OP. So see how this guy's 20 CS down and they still out trade these guys and kill them. If
Yes.
you put more attention to focus onto investing into these guys slightly and extending their lead, then they would have snowballed out of control. Because look at the tower damage; they were pushing the whole game because they were that much. Their champions were that much better. That they just naturally pushed into the tower the whole game. But since time was dragged on for so long, these guys found their power spike, and then they ended up killing these two.
That makes so much sense now that you say it
Mhm.
because all I did there, this fight was drag the game out. That's all I did.
Yeah, but it was just that one part. Like honestly, doing this, it was fine because it did work out. Kind of a gamble play, but the only part I would say that really cost you your tempo, your own pace making, your Udyr's ability to control the game. You lost it when you came here after you died to Camille and Yi at level 3.
That's
Because
big.
you coming here, no camps here, no camps here. Yi most likely already on here, so no camps anywhere. So you came to the wrong side of the map. So that's what I mean. That you lost all tempo here. So if you were to just go bot and then maybe even stayed in a lane brush or maybe stayed in here to kind of pressure them at least, these guys would have responded by poking and playing really aggressive. Maybe Kindred and Nami would have both been 20% HP and you guys just dive it. Something would have happened. Like that's all theoretical, but it would have been something close to that.
I see. So how since the lane was pretty much already won, and just go down there.
But the thing is, if you don't have any thought whatsoever on your win condition before the game starts, you wouldn't have even made a decision close to this. So what I'm saying is, before you start the game, you need to find out your win condition and play around it. So if you already have that thought process before the game starts, you would have maybe done something like what I said before right here.
You may have already explained it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to cut you off there. But...
Oh no, that's fine.
Cool.
But yeah, you do need to identify your win condition before the game starts in order to kind of have a foundation on what you're going to do that in this particular game.
Alright, so what I was going to ask is, how exactly do I find that win condition? You might have already explained it, but...
No. Great question. So there's a... I'll break it down into two things, technical and fundamental, right? So fundamental is just looking at the champion kit. Okay, Kindred early game. Just take a look at how Lucian would trade with. Just picture it in your head if they were level 2 or 1. This Lucian, right? Lucian has double shot passive. So when he dashes, when he Qs, he just has a double auto passive. I'm pretty sure you should know that, right? So whenever Lucian uses an ability, his next attack becomes double shot. So his short trades are insane, like tenfold better than this guy, right? Because he's just a normal ADC. This Kindred. So early game, bottom naturally wins because of Lucian's passive, Zyra doing insane amount of damage, and so that's one way. It's fundamental analysis, right?
Right.
And technical analysis is their personal stats. So what I would have done is every single game when I get in Champ Select, I copy my, like, you know how it says, like, for example, that Chubi joined the lobby, boosted whatever, Bird Brain joined the lobby, and then you copy and paste that. You copy and paste that list, and then do you ever use multi-search on NA.OP.GG?
I actually just recently found out about that last week, and I've been doing it.
You've been out the game, brother. This has been out for 4 years. Jesus. So
That's funny.
Yeah. So you want to copy and paste that. So for example, I'll type in all of their names right now. So boosted Bird Brain.
That's it.
Boosted Bird Brain has joined the lobby right here. And then Chase More Please, that's you. Chase More Please. Let me just copy it.
I do know that Kindred was pretty much a main, really good.
Mm-hmm. So you do check live games, right? So
yes.
That's good. Chubi. In the lobby. The Gay Prince. Oh my god, what are these Gay Princes?
These names, dude. Crazy.
Gay Princes, Vicious Kitty Cat. Yeah. Okay, so you want to copy and paste this onto the multi-search. Oh wait, oh right, so it doesn't do that. Give me a sec, I'll just give you the link to it. Maybe it was slightly worded differently.
Right, it is just copying and pasting that whole block of text though when you get into the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, right here. So take a look at this. Well, I would already be looking at this in my Champ Select. So this is technical analysis. So you just take a look at the game. We'll take a look at the ADC. You can see that her KDAs are significantly higher than most ADC mains, right? So she does a good job in not dying, trading kill for nothing. So she's very, very smart in her decisions in terms of KDA. So you know this is a reliable laner to gank, right?
The Gay Princess.
Yes, the win rate and the KDAs, like, it's pretty reliable, right? Most ADCs have KDAs less than 3, and that's sometimes considered good. So this guy's KDAs are pretty nice. 69% Lucian. Like, you know this guy, if you invest in him, he will carry you 69% of the time. That, speaking on stats, right?
Right. I wasn't really looking at him.
And then Chubi, 70% win rate. 70% win rate with Anivia. So he's another really good win condition for you. And now look at his Aatrox. He's an Aatrox one trick. 56% win rate, 2.92 KDA. 2 loss streak right now as we speak. This guy is not a reliable person to camp, because whether you gank him or not, he's not going to affect the game because he only wins half his games. Can you agree on that?
Right, a much lower win rate than the other two.
And then Zyra also has a 60% win rate, 2.1 for KDA, but most Zyra players don't have high KDAs in the first place, so you can't really count KDA as a stat. So she wins more than she loses. So it's already clear with that fundamental analysis and then the technical analysis, it's both pointing that this guy is your win condition right there.
Right.
This guy is your win condition to carry the game. It's already confirmed it for you. Fundamentally, his kit's better than these two, and Zyra. And technically, this guy has 70% win rate with his Lucian. So this guy is it. Like, this guy is the end point. So that answers your question on how do I find out what my win condition is. Fundamental and technical analysis. Technical analysis is done before the game starts. Fundamental is done after you analyze their stats. Whew.
There sure is a lot at first, but I got it pretty much. The fundamental, just the champions, the CC they have, and the all-in potential, stuff like that, and the short trades like Lucian has. I see.
It feels like it's a lot of thought process, but it's as you practice thinking like this more, it doesn't honestly. It's honestly second nature. You just think about it all the time, like without having any brain stress, I'd say.
All right, this is probably like one of the worst. This is not good.
Yes, you see what this is like, how to say, an impulse decision where like nothing's really happening and you want something to happen, and a slight miscalculation here, but that's fine. Try to avoid those as much as possible. We're like, oh, nothing's happening in the game, I want something to happen, and then you just like your heart kind of races and you just want something to happen, right? Try to avoid those because that's miscalculation.
That does happen a lot.
Oh wow, that was
deleted.
Oh my god, that D-flash, insane. Unlucky. Oh, Lara gets it with her plants, sweet. But at this point, you guys are kind of still in the game. But see how these guys naturally win now because they've scaled long enough. I was talking about the early game, by the way, because everything is early game, isn't it? Like, if you want to invest in something, like you're not worried about how strong these guys are going to be at level 10 and stuff. You want to be worried about like during the early game where these guys are strong, I better invest in them. So these guys scaling won't matter in the late game or mid game. So identify your win condition before the game starts and play around them, and the game naturally just flows towards victory.
That must be a really big part too, because just the champion match or stuff like that, it's naturally it'll flow.
But see, there are phenomenon kind of anomaly situations where you played everything right, and then but you still end up losing. That's not because it was your fault, but you did everything you could. So that loss would have not been on you. But I'm not saying this game was on you, but I'm saying there's a lot of things you could have done more efficiently. But if you played it at max efficiency and you lose, it's not your fault, and that's just your team's fault.
I actually see how I could have done that now, though. Now that you explain it, I see max efficiency. Because after I finished this game, I thought it was just like, oh, well, better bot win. Or better bot once.
But, yeah, I guess that's another way to think about it. But, yeah, so if you end up losing a game like this, it's honestly not your fault. It is your team's fault. That is the truth. But at least you can say that you played it your best and that like this is how you should be playing every game. It was your best shot at winning the game, that's for sure. That's something that you should agree on, is like that was you doing ganking like this regardless of whether you lost. That was your best shot at winning the game. No other way could have given you a better win condition.
So even like I feel like even committing more summoners bot would have helped too. I just flashed on her. This is what I'm talking about. Like I don't see a point in really doing this. I really don't. I just flashed on her.
I mean, it's not bad. Like it's huge getting a kill on someone like that. But holy shit, that Udyr damage is crazy. But oh yeah, another thing I saw that I believe you should really fix up is your secondary runes are very suboptimal in my opinion.
Okay.
The one where you go Ravenous Hunter, right? The healing.
Right, the taste of blood and then Ravenous, right.
I can honestly like can't preach it anymore, but like Rift that what do you call it? Water walking. Water walking and celerity, especially on Udyr, is I can say like tenfold better than what you're taking right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure why you're not taking it, but do you have any reasoning why you're taking this above celerity and water walking? Any reasoning behind it?
It was just because celerity got a little nerf, and I was like, okay, I'll try something else. Maybe this is
Right.
better.
Interesting, but, I mean, celerity did get a nerf, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it if it's the best rune for your champion.
Okay.
I can honestly tell you, celerity and water walking will help you so much, like insane amount. You can travel from river faster, get the scuttle faster, like travel around the river, and it's that outweighs any healing. Because I mean, turtle form life steals, doesn't it? So I mean, getting that extra getting that extra 1% is more diminishing than getting that extra movement speed you need to catch someone or stuff like that.
Okay, this is my call right here. I agree with you on that. I do need to switch it around and just default take sorcery.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll give you another reason why. I'm not doing this just because I'm trying to be stubborn with like what rune you should take, but let's take a look at, if you take a look at the stats, let's take a stats on the rune. Primary. Press the attack has taken 64% of the time with 52% win rate. So it has the highest pick rate out of any other keystone and has the highest win rate. So press the attack is a must on Udyr.
Definitely.
Here it says what you're taking, right? The Eyeball Collection and Ravenous Hunter. It's taken 1% of the time. You're part of the 1% Udyr players.
Oh, I thought I switched. I thought I got Taste of Blood instead of that Eyeball.
Taste of Blood, really? Oh, actually, let me take a look. I may be wrong. No, you went Eyeball. Eyeball, on all your games, I think.
I did not mean to take Eyeball.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But so let me tell you why you should take Celerity. Look, Ravenous Hunter's taken 1% of the time, right? 1%. So every 100 Udyr games, one time it's taken by someone. So, and the win rate on it is 44%. And now take a look at Celerity. Celerity, the secondary to that, Water Walking, because it's at the bottom table of the secondary, right?
Right.
Take a look at Water Walking. It's taken 14% of the time, and it has a 52% win rate, which means, if you think about it, Water Walking is taken 14 times more likeliness than Ravenous Hunter, and it has a plus 10% win rate on top of that. So that's a huge reason why.
It's not that good on Udyr. Not very good at all, really. It doesn't seem like it's that good.
It's not the worst because it does synergize with your abilities, but it's not the best. It's suboptimal rune page. And the celerity compared to your ghost is taken 5 times more than Eyeball Collection, and it has a 52% win rate. So it has 6% more win rate.
Okay.
So you could be winning more games just naturally, even when you're autopilot, by taking these 2 keystones.
That makes sense. I'll start doing it more because I sure didn't. I don't use it enough. I really don't. That's cool.
So always remember to just take those 2. I think there is no other situation where you should take the Ravenous Tree at any point, because Udyr jungle is all about movement speed. Do you know why Udyr's take celerity, by the way? Like the main reason why?
Just for the move speed. I feel like last season when we had the move speed runes, it makes up.
So 1.5 increased movement speed, right?
Right.
But did you know he gets bonus damage for pressing his bear stance? Because he gets bonus movement speed from his bear stance.
Oh, and that stacks up. Okay. So
you do more damage by bear stancing to someone. So it's pretty much a damage amplifier. It does more than Eyeball Collection. It incentivizes you to gank by stacking it, by killing people, right? But only then, when you have killed like 5 people, will you have enough damage, right, from the Eyeball Collection. So it's not an early game keystone. It's a kind of like a mid game keystone where you have to get kills in order to do more damage. But celerity from the get go gives you more damage because of your movement speed increase from bear stance.
Alright. So it's
So think of celerity as a damage amplifier when you do bear stance. So it does more damage, so you do better if you bear stance. Not to mention if you're in the river and you fight and you have more movement speed in the river, it does even more damage from celerity, right?
right. It does. It's kind
So
of a
it's pretty much.
no-brainer. Well, it is a brainer, but you know what I mean. I should be taking it. Just I should be taking it. I don't know. I'm just so. I wanted that life steal, man. I want the extra stacks on top. But that's questionable invade right there, and I go down 2 in the process.
Yeah, at this point, I think 6K at 18 minutes is kind of hard to come back from, especially with a comp like this. You guys were all early, like these two may be early, so it's like there really is no hope. Apart from level 16 Anivia, is there really any hope in this game left? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. Right. Yeah. Once we had that one altercation up top side, we were sort of doing good. But I still did my best. So like I was dragging them all over the place still.
Yeah, you tried your best, but I think it was honestly just this one part here where you lost all tempo. Because no camps here, you walked around here, this is all gone. So you pretty much just like had no option but to gank, right?
Right. I had
and that gank wasn't even calculated either. It was just like, oh, I have nowhere to go. This is where I need to go. Like it was just a kind of impulsive, no calculation decision making. I feel like apart from that, you kind of played your best. You traded kills, but there are those little things you do need to pick up on, like checking item tabs. Hey, he's stronger than me. Checking pick ward tabs. Hey, he's gonna place it somewhere. And what do you call it? Not efficient pathing, like straight line cut pathing, because this matchup is just a hard farm matchup. And I'm pretty sure you do beat him too, because you do clear a little bit faster than him early game. I heard.
Right. I do beat him pre-6.
And I see you're doing the split, which I heard that Udyr should be doing because Udyr has no like dashes, right? So in team fights, 1 CC and you're out. So splitting is the best option, but yeah, at this point it kind of feels like it just slowly flows to the enemies. Yeah.
Because of the scaling.
I think the rest is kind of self-explanatory. So okay, I'll recap on what you need to do right now. So first, try not to do cheese early invades unless it's 100%. Like it's the kind of jungler where they have to path only one way, so it's higher chance of predicting it, right? But if it's like Yi has so many diverse ways of pathing. So I think try not to do cheese early invades unless it's 100%. 2, be kind of responsive when something happens on the map. Example, Yi at mid, counter gank, or wait in his jungle kill, because he lost some HP when he was ganking.
He really did, and his red buff was just sitting up. That was a free kill, like he said.
Yeah, so if you were waiting there and you killed him, that was his whole topside gone. You don't think of it as just, oh, okay, I get to take his red after. It's actually his whole topside gone. So the game would have kind of probably been over by then, because he can't farm anything but his bot side. And 3, that thing. Try to not back and forth path. So inefficient pathing. I mean, it's pretty straight. I mean, you played like over 1,000 Udyr games total, so you understand what I mean by like how much it affects you when you inefficient path. You like lose levels while the enemy's hard farming. So yeah.
Right, and honestly, my path, and I don't know what happened to it like the past seasons. My pathing used to be a lot better. Like last season, I probably wouldn't have went topside like that. Knowing my chance to be gone.
So always gotta. That's the thing about people. Like you need to understand. Like 90% of the people who play this game play autopilot. So like they fully don't think about much when they're playing. But if you have that slight edge and advantage when you're thinking before the game starts, and you stay focused and you play towards your win condition, it really like just wins you the game because you already planned it out, right? So always try to be non-autopilot. Try always thinking like, okay, he killed me at top. I need to just stay away from top. It's all gone. Like if you had that thought, you wouldn't have gone there. So that's one. Check item tabs. Check item tabs on everyone. On everyone. Just take a look at whether they have pink ward. That's the most important part. Pink ward.
Pink wards.
Items. These two are in that order is your importance. So if you see a top laner coming back with pink ward, you know, okay, if I'm going to gank top, then there's going to be a ward somewhere. So you have to already have that idea down. So that's important.
That's sneaky too.
Yeah, and items on enemy jungle. So can I duel them? And then make decision. Because it's pretty obvious. Anyone can do the calculation. Like if someone's like a skirmisher, saber, and a whole berserker greaves up on you, and you only have 2 longswords, you're not going to win the trade, right?
Definitely.
No matter how good your champion is, unless you're like 3 levels above him.
Or have like 6 kills.
Yeah. So, make a decision accordingly. Another one is identify your win condition before the game. Both fundamentally, which is like champ kit, early game, and then technically. So that's win rates, games played.
Under stats.
I mentioned like loss, win streak. That's one thing too. So always identify this and path according to this. And then you'll just naturally end up winning. So that, and what else? I feel like you just play Udyr like pretty nice, like just like an Udyr main should.
Thanks, man. That means a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a challenger player. Just need to clean up these.
Yeah, just clean up the little slight flaws and you're fine. Like, because mechanically you've probably got it all down, so you shouldn't have a problem there. And I see you were going for the split, which is the right decision for Udyr to do mid game. You guys look like you kind of bring it back, but it's a shame. Oh, and another thing you should learn: when you're behind, right, and you get like a slight pick, like 2 people pick. Don't assume that just because they have 3 to 5 on the numbers game, 5 people on your team to 3, doesn't mean that they won't be able to kill you guys. Because when you're behind, their carries are a lot stronger, and just because your group doesn't mean you're going to be able to finish them off. So take the win early, win behind, and you make pick. Take the win early. Therefore, slowly closing the gap in gold difference. So like your gold difference is 6,000 here, but if you take the win instead of dying like this by overextending after you pick them, because you remember how you picked the Master Yi?
Right.
If you guys didn't die after and you just ran, took the win right there, it would slowly close the gap between this, and then that's how you slowly come back into the game. Everyone thinks you come back into the game by like Baron throws and all that, but most games came back because they know when to take the win. When they have a pick comp like this.
Okay, so after we like greeted or the Camille greeted for me, we could just back off there, and then we wouldn't all die. And then on top of that, I could have just not even went in with my team.
All that, yeah. So it's the small little small little gold leads that you get that close in the gold difference, and then you slowly get back into the game. Do you ever notice why whenever the enemy team is ahead and they end up diving and they trade their lives for like tower? Do you kind of realize later on in the game, like team fights become even? Have you ever noticed that? Where like let's say you're ahead and you guys are being impatient and you dive them and you guys trade 3 for 3, and then it just slowly, no matter how ahead you were, they slowly creep back into the game. That's those things that I'm talking about. Like, as long as you guys trade even in numbers and take wins when you're behind, the gold generation that all you guys are stacking gold right here is increased at the same rate as the enemy team, even when they're ahead, right? So the longer the game goes on, the less the gold difference matters. It's more about the champion kit.
That's true.
That's exactly what late game is. There's a reason why every single champion has a slump in win rate when it gets to 40 minutes, because no one can control the game at that point. It becomes like whoever makes the first mistake. So that's what late game is. But the longer you drag the game on, you try your best to drag the game on, the higher chances of winning a game.
Okay.
I'm sure you must have experienced it once, like a game where your whole team ends, but somehow you somehow end up dragging the game on for so long that they can't end the game, and then you guys just win the game off that. So I've had a lot of games like that where I could just play TF, my whole laners are inting, and then I just keep clearing the side, make sure they can't get to our inhib, and then somehow naturally one of the team fights we win it.
Now that sounds fun. And just to keep playing, to play TF like that. Oh man,
that's it. Like there's so many. I'm sure you know who Doppler is, right? Doppler, the most renowned TF main in the world.
I do recall that name. I didn't know he was a TF main. Name.
Oh, back in the days he was called like the arch nemesis of Faker because he was the only one that could match him back then. So what he does is, regardless of whether his team ends, he just has this thing where he plays the game so slow to the point where his inting teammates end up like kind of carrying him in the end because of how long he dragged the game on for.
Okay.
That's it.
That makes sense. Alright, here I got it.
Yeah. I think the rest of the game is kind of self-explanatory. This is how they just snowball, get Baron.
Right there.
Yeah, you guys can't get this Baron. Right there. 10k. 10k is just a game decider, pretty much. Yeah. So I think that's all the feedback I could give for that game, actually. The rest, Okuchi. Yeah. I hope these tips actually help you, but I think that's it that I could get out of this game.